3, consider and discuss northwest dorm renovation.
Okay, we have, it's really one of the reasons why we're meeting tonight is to talk about the renovation project. We, as you recall from our October meeting, we approved you approved for us to move forward with this project. We have EMA Engineering and Consulting firm that was approved to put this project together for us. We have Luke here tonight, who is the project manager, and we have Scott. And Scott, you're gonna have to tell me your last name one more time.
Last name is Clendenin.
Clendenin, okay. They have been working with us, been working with David Graham. David's here as well. And so I guess, let me go ahead and start with you guys. You have some new information that was provided to you. It's in front of you. I think Norma has it also on the, put it up on the screen. And so you want to tell us a little bit about what you got here for us, Luke?
Sure, absolutely. You okay if I come up there?
Sure, absolutely.
I don't know if it's good following that last session or not. So yeah, like I said, my name is Luke Palumbo with EMA, and we've been working with Mr. Graham to put this together. Real quick, what I wanted to do is just go over the scope of the project, but I'm going to keep it pretty high level. So just let me know if you want me to dig into something, and then we'll look at the financials, kind of how we graded out the proposals we received on this, and then dig into the numbers a little bit more. So just let me know if there's any questions. Go to the next slide, please. Okay, so a big part of this is going to be new finishes, architectural. So when you you walk into these dorms, there's 52 of them. It's going to be a new look. You're going to have new carpet, new floors. Right now you have that carpet tile. It's going to be LVT tiles in there. You're going to have new lighting. You're going to have the countertops you can see in here. Well, you can all the picture of it, but the new restrooms, you're going to do tile floors, new toilets, showers are going to be pulled out, new showers are going to be put in. The existing PTAC, those through wall mechanical units that you see when you walk up to the dorm, those are going to be pulled out, and we're going to go to a system that it works pretty similar to a split system at your house, but instead of having one outside unit to one inside, it can support multiple units on the inside to one outside. So we have, it's called a VRF, variable refrigerant system, and those will actually be mounted inside. So this is kind of a demo plan. If you go to the next plan, I'll show you an example of what it's going to look like. So on the build back, you can see here, it's kind of showing the new sinks, new counters and all that. And here's a little bit of an elevation. I wish we had an actual like 3D rendering to show you, but we don't on this one, just kind of keep it in budget. But the closets are going to be demoed out, and they're going to go back, clean it up, and put shelf and wire rack in here. So again, architecturally, when you walk in, it'll feel new. The existing popcorn hard ceiling is all going to be scraped off and repainted. New LED lights, and I'm sorry I don't have them out everywhere, but I think they passed some of these out. It's just a blow up, so you can see in a little more detail. But if you go to the last page, you'll just see, or the last two pages, you can see examples of the floor that's going to be in there. And it might not be that exact color, but it's example of how those tile planks look, and then the solid surface countertops. And then the next one would be the updated plumbing fixtures, just to give you an example in the lights, so you can kind of see what we're looking at putting back in there. But overall, so we have the architectural, electrical is going to be updated to accommodate the new equipment. We're also going to be introducing outside air into those units. So right now, if you go in there, it's probably pretty often it's hot, humid. Now we're going to be introducing outside air, which is required by code, but it's also going to give a look, keep that room slightly positively pressured, going to introduce fresh outside air, and those rooms will be fresher as a result of it. And then plumbing wise, again, we talked about the plumbing fixtures, but we're also going to go to two centrally located hot water heaters. So right now, every suite or every other room has a hot water heater located under the sink. So from a maintenance standpoint, you have to go into rooms to fix one. There's obviously a lot more equipment to maintain. So now they're all going to be located in the end, at the end of the building in that day room, which I may actually, if you go one more slide, I'll show you the day room. So we're going to put them up here in this part of the day room. This is existing, so all this tile is going to be pulled out. You can see how there's different color lights and different colors, different shapes. There's different lights in there, so that's all gonna be cleaned up, it's gonna be uniform. And then those hot water heaters are gonna be located up here in this corner. And then we're adding a little fur down right here. That's gonna create a little bit of separation, so you'll have kind of the laundry side of the room, if you will, and then the gathering side of the room, where I think the plan is maybe to put a little furniture or something in here. So this is that day room at the end. So we're, again, from the plumbing standpoint, we're moving all those that hot water heater to two centrally located. And then we have a chase, can't really see that kind of runs in between the rooms. So there's 52 rooms and they back up and mirror each other. But that chase really gives us a good opportunity to run our outside air and run our plumbing. It's really beneficial. And then I guess the last part of that is we were able to work with Athens to get them to agree to bring gas up to an area adjacent to the building. And they're gonna put a gas meter there, put some bollards around it to protect it. They cover the cost bringing it all the way up to there. Then as part of what we bid out, they're gonna run the gas, the last little bits of the building. And that will allow us to run our equipment off of gas instead of electric, which was really a big deal, because if we had to run those hot water heaters off electric, we would have had to add extra power. Your energy consumption would be much higher. So I think that's it from the architectural standpoint. Again, I went over it pretty quick to avoid getting unnecessary detail, but is there any questions specific to that before?
So will the heat for the building be gas?
No, sir, it's a heat pump. So the units will, it'll be heat pumps like a split system at your house.
Is it unrealistic to have gas heat?
So not on those units. I don't even know if it's offered on a VRF. No, sir. Okay. So this is a grading sheet we use just to help break out the bids. So we received 2 bids on this project. What you'll see here is this is what we have in the bid document, and it shows the weight for each item. So for instance, 45% for price, and then there's other items such as history, working with the school and things like that. The really good thing on this, we had bids come in very close, and it doesn't always happen, but having 2 bids within $50,000 of each other is great. It tells us we have the right price. And on this one, you can see, so we graded the 2 out, and I know there's a lot of noise here, but at the end of the day, on a scale of 1 to 10, you have a 9.48 compared to a 9.38. Both great contractors. This is just trying to be as objective as possible when going through the bids, factoring in performance and things like that. Any questions? I'll dive more into the numbers. I just wanted to show you how we grade out the 2 on bid day. Okay. This is where I think I might get some more questions and hopefully I can answer. But this is VMI, who was the low bidder, or the low bidder, but they're also the highest score, overall score. Kind of a breakdown of what was general construction, which would include things like your flooring, your finishes, your cabinets, paint, things like that. Closet work, doing the demo of that closet work and building back that wire rack. And then breakout of mechanical systems, electrical, which really, again, is lighting, but it's also electrical to support the new mechanical layout. So it's not like we're running onto electrical through the building. And then plumbing is for the hot water heaters, fixtures, and things like that. But it just kind of gives you, and the piping, because new piping is going to be run in that chase. So it just kind of gives you an idea of the breakout. And this number does not include some below the line. I say below the line. It's not included in their bid. It's not the asbestos or things like that are associated with the project, but not necessarily a part of their bid.
We have some mitigation.
We do. So if you go to the next one. So this is a comparison again of the 2 low, and we bid it out to, on our bid form, we added a couple of alternates to give you some options. So y'all have a co-op where you have the option to purchase equipment direct. And we wanted to see, does it benefit the school to purchase it direct, or does it benefit to have it inside this bid? And so we asked for that breakout. And the low contractor, this is the low option for each. So for the EMI, it was less expensive to buy the equipment direct, but to Yeah, so buy the equipment direct, they don't have the equipment in their number originally, it's included now. And with Tucker, it was cheaper for them to buy it. Regardless, this is the two low options for each contractor. So you can see again, I mean, $30,000, really, really close. But to answer your question, the contingency is a line item we carry below. We carry asbestos for floors, which, sorry, sorry. Asbestos for the floors, which we have a quote for, I think Mr. Graham has a quote for. The $50,000, in order to provide additional outside air, we have to go through that CMU wall from that chase. And so there was some additional asbestos abatement money in there for that. So that's what you're seeing there. And then that's a number that again is direct. We just put it in here to show the overall cost, which is owner provided furniture. But again, closed bids. Any questions on that?
On the, we talked about this the other day, the unit itself running off the gas, you know, what's the, I go back to 10 years ago, there was the air conditioners would run off the gas. So Lone Star was promoting and then they couldn't service them and all that. And I'm sure that you better expand on the quality of that, what kind of issues you have with maintenance on them, and who works on them exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, so these are heat pumps, so it's just a refrigeration cycle on these. So there's not going to be gas tied into units and mechanical units. It's just going to be kind of like a standard heat pump. VRF is more common. You guys actually have, I think, multiple facilities with VRF now, and LG, which is who will be kind of factored in carrying. So I don't think from a maintenance standpoint, should have any issues. They're very efficient units. I mean, I remember when they first started doing VRF a while back, the issue was price, but they were always, you know, very efficient and get work on them. Those in the last 10 years have kind of gone away. I don't know if I'm missing anything, but yeah, so there's no gas tied into it. It's just a refrigeration cycle, and I mean, there's a reversing valve, and it's a heat pump cycle. So it's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of people that can work on them. And I don't know, Mr. Graham, if there's ever had issues, you know, finding people to work on the systems. But again, y'all have LG, which is something, when we did the design for this, we tried to work with them on this to make sure we had some consistency, something you're comfortable with, something know to work on or know who to call. And then we can also, you know, on the back end of it, try to look at making sure you have the contacts for maintenance and things like that. But it should not be any unique challenges on that side of it. No, sir.
We do like to use gas in our, when we can. It does make a lot of sense, but it's usually when your systems are outside of the building. Since most of these systems are inside the building, it really wouldn't work very well to use gas for heating. We use it for your water heating, makes a lot of sense, but for the air conditioning side, on the heating side, I don't think you're good any way to apply it. But I understand what your question, where you're coming from.
So to summarize, and I'm getting this from our meeting, but so the rest of the board can hear.
Yes, sir.
This plan will be all the codes that we're dealing with here, because it's pre-existing things, we're just maybe renovating, that means we're able to achieve that at lower with new construction.
Yes, sir.
The contract, that I understand, it's a guaranteed price, it's not gonna go over that. And there'll be a performance bond, which will be part of the deal. Is that correct?
So there is a performance behind. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's what you said.
And no increase. I mean, we can't be more.
So as far as the contract, so I know there's specific contract language around it that guaranteed max price, but no, it's an all-in contract that covers the entire project. We've got, like you said, performance bonds on it. We've got contingency on it. I don't want to misspeak and say, hey, it's a GMP, which is a very specific contract language. But yes, sir, it's an all-included turnkey project. So there's nothing out there that we say can reasonably be foreseen based on walking the job, which there's an expectation for every contractor to walk the job. And both contractors that did walk the job in detail. So I'm not trying to.
We determined to be,
24,000.
that's heated and cool area.
Yes, well, did that 24,000 in that Sunday?
Including a lot of it.
So 20 years.
It goes. So it's probably not 24 air conditioning space. It's probably
20,000 square feet of living area, would you say?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the effective cost of the construction is about $70-something a foot when you take out. Which I think is about $1,400,000, so that'd be about right, 72 feet.
I would like to just add to the fact that we've had 3 board members involved in this process, and they've been last Friday. We had Steve Grant, Mike Henry, and Dr. Easton all involved in this project. They walked the dorms, they saw the facilities, they've been involved with it from the very beginning, and they helped us answer a lot of questions. Steve helped ask a lot of questions that we were able to answer early on.
I've had time to think about something. When you mentioned the equipment, the more efficiency, and I agree, you have to be that. Do you have any, David's got numbers of what the utility cost has been to run that building in all these years. Do we?
I don't, but we could probably get with equipment to see if you had, current bills. We might get with equipment.
I would think your biggest savings is going to be going from all electric water to gas and heat. I think that's going to be your biggest utility savings. Gas is not necessarily. So converting all of your water heating to natural gas instead of electricity should show you substantial savings. I don't know what that is. We would have to model it if you really wanted us to. We could put some estimates on you. Air conditioning, I'm not going to think there's going to be a whole. Either off or on, and the most efficient air conditioning unit in the world is the one that's not running. Yeah.
And we have 2 50-gallon tanks, and y'all run studies, is that right? Shows demand.
I think it was 2 120s, so I'm not sure.
It's 250.
I think it's 2 120s. 2
Yeah.
120s, but yes, sir. We ran a demand on everything, showers, and yes, sir, absolutely.
A couple of other just things that we talked about is I had a structural engineer come in a couple of years ago before we did anything to that building and make sure the foundation is in good shape, and it is. And we also had somebody on the roof this morning. A 40-year, I believe David said it's a 40-year roof that was built in 1998. So it's got a few more years, but hasn't leaked. No, it's not any issues with it as of right now. So we're good in those 2 areas. I'll also mention, we did put $390,000 in the budget, our budget this year, facilities budget, with the idea that we were going to do something with this dorm this year, as we did last year. It was put in there on a 3-year plan or 4-year plan, however long it took. So this is basically going to get it all done for us. We have made sure that this can get done hopefully by mid-July. We've talked about that as well. We need it by August 1st, probably at the latest, maybe earlier than that, but at least by August 1st. So we think it can get done by then, but in order to do that, we need to start on it. So that was one of the things we need to do. We can take the $390,000 that we put in the budget and use it to subtract from the math that you're looking at here. So that $390,000 was about 40% of our overall facilities budget, and it was going to be spent on Northwest Dorm this year. So this will take care of that, and we'll put that in here as part of the cost. Help pay for it. Any of you other guys have anything else to add or questions? I know we had a lot of them over the last few days.
All I know is the contractor needs to order everything he needs the first day.
That's right.
Because, you know, can't get heaters, can't get appliances, it's crazy.
Yes, sir. And one good thing about the structure here is if you order the way we carried it, ordering the equipment through the co-op, I'll get to leverage that. That saves time between getting the initial contract issue, getting some mills turned around and all that. It allows us to expedite that process and get equipment released before the end of the year.
Also mention, I know you have seen the cost flow analysis. This building was built in 1985. And so basically we intend for it to look like a brand new building. And so hopefully it'll be good for the next 30 years, 35 years, hopefully. And the cost flow analysis is showing a very positive cash flow. I think Jennifer and David Hopkins gave that to you in the October meeting. So there's a good possibility as well. You know that we did renovations to the northeast dorm over the previous period of time. We spent about $500,000 in 3 budgets ago to upgrade the northeast. Let me make sure I've got my directions correct. And it's a good shape. You can go in there right now and it looks good. I think people have gone in there and we're proud of that dorm. And so hopefully this will be upgraded to the point that it will be as good as Cardinal Hall. And there's a good possibility that over time, once COVID hopefully has gone away, that we can look at the opportunity of raising the rates for the room in these 3 dorms because we spent some money in there.
What is the rate difference between this dorm and Cardinal Hall?
This one is $875 per semester. Cardinal Hall's higher. I don't remember what that was.
12, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think that's right.
I think it's
1,200.
don't quote me on memory, but I think it's about 12.
And the others are the same price. So the conversation we had is that they want to raise that.
I will say that we're far under what it would cost somebody to have an apartment in town or to do anything else in town. We're way underneath that. And of course, we've been trying to keep it down because the numbers have dropped during COVID and we wanted to keep as many people as we could in those dorms on campus. But there's a good likelihood of raising those rates as we move forward.
If you don't raise them, there'll be people going to school just so they can live.
It's cheaper, right?
We'd ask for a motion to approve.
You need a motion?
Yeah, I need a motion to approve the North Dorm
Are we
renovation.
approving the contractor?
You what? We've already approved the
Y'all
contract.
already approved the
Yes.
contract. I'll make that motion.
Okay, you make that motion.
Second.
You second the motion. Dr. Charlie makes a motion to go along with this contract, bid price, and Mike seconds that motion. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
I'm just trying to help you not move over there.
Thank you.
We thank you very much, and we're going to make you guys proud of that dorm. Next June or July, we're all going to take a tour, and I think you're going to be proud of what you've done tonight. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you guys for being here tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I think David has already got POs already made so that we can go ahead and start tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to discuss the redistricting process.
I sent you some information. Basically, it's a resolution. Hopefully you've had a chance to look at it. We did talk about this a little bit in our last meeting. I think we were going to try to get a map together tonight. Did we get one, Janine?
No.
No, we didn't get one. We have been told, at least, that they're working on a map and they think that they are close. I'll send it out to you as soon as we get that, maybe tomorrow. We thought we'd have it tonight. It is our understanding that in each one of the board members' residences, where you live, your permanent residence, will continue to be in your district in the future. We wanted to make sure that that was something that was there. I'm sorry, we have somebody here tonight, and I want to go ahead and introduce you. It's Sarah. Okay,
Hello.
Sarah Leon, and she's our consultant that we've been working with. I'll let you go ahead and take the floor here, please.
Thank you very much. Members of the board, it's nice to meet you. I'm Sarah Leon. I've been working with your staff to prepare an initial assessment for you, and we hoped to have a draft balance plan for you. Because of several factors, including the fact that you all haven't had many elections in the past 10 years, we did not have really good district boundaries for each of the single member trustee districts. So late last week, we decided instead of trying to recreate what you have now, we're just going to go ahead and draft a sample plan that has balanced districts. You all are so large, however, that it's been a challenge to get that done by tonight's meeting. We hope to have a sample draft plan for you at least either late tonight or sometime tomorrow. And what I would just propose for you all, I have a PowerPoint, but I don't think you need to see a PowerPoint. Basically, where we are in the process is the census came out late, requiring everyone to conduct redistricting at the same time. We can tell from the changes within your jurisdiction that you are going to have an unbalanced plan. There've just been too many changes in the last 10 years. So we're just assuming going forward that we're going to have to reapportion based on the constitutional principle of one person, one vote. I am recommending that the board adopt this criteria for redistricting. It essentially just follows traditional redistricting criteria that the courts have approved over time. If we don't have a resolution like this and someone, comes back 5 years from now and challenges the trustee districts that we draw, we can go back and say, this is why we did it. In the absence of a stated and adopted criteria, people could, impute other unlawful criteria. So really, we're just going right down the center of traditional redistricting principles. I am asking you to approve the resolution. After tonight's meeting, what my hope would be is that we can publish this resolution on the website or social media sites so that members of your of the district can see what we're doing. And if anyone has concerns, if anyone wants to offer plans, they would have an opportunity to do so, so long as they follow the criteria. I would like to present individually to the board and just email out to you one or more draft plans that have a balanced one person, one vote outlines. And then if anyone has any sort of concerns about the plan, they can reach out to me personally. And then we would like to come back to you early in 2022 and have an in-depth discussion about the plans, conduct a public hearing, and then get new plans in place or a new map in place prior to the end of January of 2022.
So just for my information, what's the filing deadline for us to file for election? And I'm just thinking of the timing of all of these
Yeah,
things.
the initial filing is February the 5th, 6th, 7th?
January the 19th.
February the 19th.
Is the
deadline-
first date for filing. And I think the last date is in the February date that you mentioned. So ideally, we would get this done prior to January 19th. We've really been under the gun for two reasons. One, the late issuance of the census, and then the fact that we do not have a really good complete map for you all. And so we've been working with your staff hard to try to get as close as we can to what you have right now. But those two things have sort of slowed the process. You know, in a perfect world, we could have a public hearing on one meeting and adopt at a second meeting. If we wanted to do it all at one meeting, we could also do that. And, you know, one option is when we email out a plan to all the trustees, you can give us some feedback, whether you think that that requires more than one meeting, or if it looks, you know, uncontroversial, we could adopt and do the public hearing in just one meeting.
Would it be, does the public hearing need to be a board meeting, or it does not? It can just be a public meeting. Is that correct?
It should be a hearing of the public that the board is there for. So it should be at a board meeting, but it could be just simply like, you know, when you adopt a tax rate or whatever, you just have a public hearing at the beginning of the meeting.
What I sort of envisioned that we would have a public hearing. We have two major campuses, one in Athens and Henderson County, and then one the Terrell campus in Terrell, that we'd have a public hearing in Athens, and then on one evening, and then the next evening have a public hearing in Terrell. But I really didn't envision the board being required to be there. Would they be required to be there for that, for the public hearing?
You know what? We could do what you're suggesting. That also would work. So we could just invite members of the public to come visit and look at the plan. And then at the meeting at which we adopt, I think I would still post an item for people to address the board. But we could take public input. Those are more like workshops, but that is absolutely doable as well.
And then we have a regular board meeting. It's the fourth Monday in January. We could probably have it on the third Monday in January if we needed to. But we could go ahead and have the public hearings early in January, maybe the, I don't know, 10th, 12th or 10th, 11th, sometime early in January, and then have a board meeting that would adopt the redistricting map and go forward from there. Is that okay?
That sounds
What
perfect.
does the board think? I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I mean,
Yeah, I think that if you're gonna have the hearing at Terrell and Athens, it doesn't need to be where everybody's got.
I didn't. We'll be there. We'll answer questions. We may even have a representative from Ms. Leon's office there, or Ms. Leon that would be there if there's questions.
Well, we will definitely be there.
We don't have a lot of. You know,
If we didn't have one, there'd be a problem.
There would
If we
be.
didn't have one.
That's right.
How do
I think
you
we have one.
announce
I
that?
don't think there'd be-
We'll advertise it in the paper. Yeah. We'll advertise it in the paper. We'll do like we would regularly do any kind of board meeting,
Okay.
except it won't be a board meeting. It'll just be a public hearing.
Okay.
If that's acceptable, then what we need to do tonight then is approve the resolution. And then we can maybe set a date we can set a date among ourselves for the public hearings early in January. And then we can talk about the board meeting. If we need to have it earlier, we can do that in January. That's okay. The only issue may be the CPA, the audit, but
I don't think we can have it for the 24th.
we'll work on that. We can work on that. Does anybody have any other questions for Ms. Leon?
The 24th would be within the statutory deadline to redistrict, which is 90 days prior to the election day. It'd be in the middle of the filing period. You don't have a lot of contested elections, so that's probably safe.
So we'd be okay to go ahead and have the public hearings earlier and then have the adoption of the redistricting at the January 24th board meeting.
Yes, sir. I think that works.
Okay. Sounds like a good plan. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Any other questions? I know you've been working really hard. I know this has been an issue for everybody in the state. So we appreciate I think this is going to be a plan that we can really utilize. The plan that was done 10 years ago, we're still trying to figure it out. And I'm still trying to figure out who's where and what. I don't know what they did 10 years ago, but it wasn't very good. And so we're looking forward to having that, everybody being able to look at it and see exactly what we're talking about and going forward from there. And you're right, we haven't had too many contested elections, but we did have one this last year, and it was we need a plan. We need a map with a redistricting plan that everybody can see where they are. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir. Thank you. And the other thing, I will forward the plan and I will offer to any of the trustees, if you have questions about the districts and you want to just call and have a, 30 or 45-minute session with the mapping person, that's very easily done. So just offer that to you all as well.
Janine,
Thank
do
you
have
so much.
more questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I just wanted to let you guys know that we do have Paula Leckie here. She is the elections administrator for Henderson County. So she came here tonight. We were hoping to see a map, but.
We were wondering who you were back there, so it's very good to meet you.
So if you do have any election questions, she's
Okay.
definitely the guru about that, but we'll be working very closely with Paula here going forward to make sure we've got everything set and in place. And once we can get this all taken care of with Mrs. Leon's firm, we should be good to go.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you. So I guess
to pay that.
we need a motion to approve the resolution.
Okay. Dr. Terry makes the motion, Terry seconds the motion to approve the resolution to move forward on the redistricting. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign, motion carries.
Thank you again, Ms. Leon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, do we, number 5, consider and discuss recommendations for the VP Information Technology position.
And this is last but certainly not least. I think we have David Gibson. I saw him earlier on the screen, so we have him here Zoom. David, how are you doing today? We're glad, it's good to see you. We went through an extensive process over the last, 2 months to replace Brett Daniels for Vice President for Information Technology. And we really feel very fortunate. We feel like we've got a really, really great person with David Gibson. I gave you, hopefully you had an opportunity to look over his resume and his qualifications. Very qualified. We're looking forward to him coming forward and being part of our leadership team. We feel like he can make a big difference for us. He went through some pretty extensive questions over the last couple of weeks. And so all of us give him a big thumbs up. I think everybody's excited. Everybody on our leadership team, and all the people that were in the IT area also that had an opportunity to question him and talk to him were excited about him coming. He's coming from Sul Ross. So I think he's just happy to get out of Alpine.
If we can make internet work in Sul Ross and Alpine, he'd probably get up.
Did you hear that, David?
I did not.
Internet going in Alpine, you can probably do anything, anywhere.
You can, but there's my wife and I love the area over there. We visited last week. We were on campus and it's just a beautiful area. So we're looking forward to coming over there and being with you all.
Anybody have any questions for David or any comments for David? Would you like to say anything else, David, other than you like the area?
I'm just looking forward to coming over there and being part of the TVCC family and kind of helping the IT folks move forward and continue to support our students and our faculty and our staff.
Very good. We would ask for a motion to approve that.
Okay, do I hear a motion to hire David Gibson? Mike makes that motion. David seconds that motion. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Okay, David, thank you so much. We'll see you on January the 17th, I think.
Yes, sir. Thank you so
Sounds great.
much.
We do need to take any action.
No. We can just go on into being closed.
You ready to make?
I'm ready for you.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. Second.
Everybody.
Everybody second.
Everybody second.
You're gonna have to
Say, I want to tell y'all saw the apple there. I wanted to make sure you had an apple for your stocking this year.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Have a great holiday season. Be safe. Merry Christmas.